came. Hope all you fans in the Pacific Northwest have a great year.
Fans, we're here with Shane Stewart, of course one of my favorite drivers. Shane, I believe your fourth quick on qualifying?
Yeah, fourth quick, yeah. Actually, that's a pretty good lap, considering we were the last car out. Track's in pretty good shape. It didn't really slow down much, obviously. And, you know, to be top four with these guys is really important. To get out of the heat race and put yourself in the dash. And, you know, if you do that, you know, you're going to have a good shot at winning the race. So hopefully we can put this Larson Marks racing car in victory lane.
Okay, now, what do you get out of hot laps? When you go out and do hot laps and you come in, do you gain a lot of information out of that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can judge a lot off of hot laps. You know, gearing, you know, hot laps are really 4 laps just to make sure nothing's going to fall off your race car and it feels okay. And, you know, as long as it turns and nothing crazy happens, then you're generally going to be okay for qualifying. But, you know, if we didn't have hot laps, we'd probably be in a world of hurt most nights. But, you know, it is 4 quick laps, but we can learn a lot from those 4 laps.
All right. So Shane, I got to ask you, how did you and Kyle Larson come together to form the team and for you to be the driver?
Well, I mean, Kyle and I have been friends for a long time, and you know, he had mentioned to me if he ever did get, you know, was in a position to build a team, that he would keep me in mind, and that's what he did. Him and Justin Marks are really good friends, and Justin decided to go ahead and make that a reality of getting the team started. And Justin, you know, relied on Kyle to hire the people that he's got. You know, I was the lucky one that they picked to be the driver. So just fortunate to be in this situation and humbled by it. Good rides are very hard to come by these days. And just hopefully we can make the best of it this year and have a really good showing doing the 4 outlaw.
All right, Shane. Well, once again, thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
What room for being late to the staging area? So Craig Delansky penalized what room for being late to the staging area for our opening heat race. It's the 41 of Jason Johnson and the 1S of Logan Shehart in the front row. 29 Kerry Matson and 51 Paul McMahon in row 2. 21X Carson Macedo and the 13 of Martin Dogmeyer in row 3. Then the 88N of DJ Netto, the 5V of Colby Copeland in row 4, the 7 of Craig Delansky at the back of the field.
They're at the Jock, the green flag flies. We're racing in Heat 1 Action World of Outlaws at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway dirt track. Jason Johnson makes good his pole as he jumps to the initial lead. Logan Shehart in the second spot, followed by Kerry Matson. Paul McMahon, he runs fourth. As the cars separate into pretty much follow the leader. Single file racing at the moment in Heat 1. Jason Johnson is your leader. Again, he made good that pole. As we ride down the backstretch. cars in single file. You can tell that the track has got a lot of rubber down on it already from just hot laps. Shot of your leader, Jason Johnson. Logan Schuchart continues to hold that second spot. Kerry Matson in the third spot. Paul McMahon in the fourth spot. And in that fifth and final transfer spot is the 13 of Mark Domeyer. Craig Delansky, he's laboring in the 7th position. Following the start, nobody's really made any challenges for passes. Jason Johnson continues to show the way. Hard-packed, slick track at the moment. And we've got a car that spins coming out of turn 4. But that does not prevent the flag from dropping. Your winner in Heat 1, the 41 of Jason Johnson, followed by the 2 of Logan Schuchart, then the in the third spot, the 29 of Kerry Matson, in the fourth spot, the 51 of Paul McMahon, and in the fifth and final transfer spot, going to the A main, the 13 of Mark Domeyer.
The news, and we have the hit. 102.
Ryan Brown, 49 of Brad Sweet and Ron Terry Pittman in row 2, 2L Daniel Sosky in 26 Taylor also in row 3, 12 Robbie Stillwagon and the 33V of Henry Van Dam in row number 4.
Slow pace up to the chalk. They hit the chalk racing, jostling up there in the front row. They go into turns 1 and 2, and it is Brian Brown, who makes good his outside starting position in the first row. In the second spot is Ian Matson. Settling into third is Darren Pittman, and Brad Sweet is in the fourth spot. Brad Sweet momentarily giving a challenge to Darren Pittman out of turn 2 as they go down the backstretch. There's a shot of the number 26 car, Tyler Mousom. He's out of the Pacific Northwest. Coming down here to challenge the World of Outlaws. And once again, you've got Brad Sweet giving a challenge to Darren Pittman coming out of turn 2, but Pittman able to hold off Sweet. And Darren Pittman now opens up a couple car length gap over Brad Sweet. Brad settling into the fourth spot. Darren Pittman continues to hold that third spot up front. It is Brian Brown, and he is looking wickedly fast out there, being chased by Ian Matson in the 18 car in the second spot. Another shot of your leader as he goes down the backstretch. Number 21, Brian Brown. Second, third, and fourth are fairly close to each other as we continue on this 8-lap heat race. And your leader, once again, Brian Brown, as he finishes this up. And your winner is the 21, Brian Brown. In the second spot, the 18 car, Ian Matson. In the third spot, the 9 car, Darren Pittman. In the fourth spot, the 49 of Brad Sweet. And in the fifth spot, the 2L of Danny Lasowski. Those 5 transfer to the A main.
The second heat race reads this way. Brian Brown, the winner, in the number 21 with 18 of Ian Matson finishing second. Third was car 9, Darren Pittman. In fourth was the 49 of Brad Sweet, and finishing fifth, the 2L of Danny Lasowski. Those 5 drivers will move into the main event. start of heat race number 383. David Gravel at 24R Rico Abreu in the front row. 15 Tony Shots at 71M Joey Saltana in row 2. 55 Trey Starks at 44W Austin Wheatley in row 3. 1A Jacob Allen at 31C Justin Cox in row number 4.
Fairly quick pace by Gravel on the pole. Hit the chalk, green flag flies. We're racing in Heat 3, action of your World of Outlaws at the Las Vegas dirt track. Rico Abreu on the outside. Drag race down the backstretch between Gravel and Abreu. Saldana in the 3rd spot. Donnie Schatz moving into the 4th spot. Gravel holding off Abreu. Saldana in that 3rd spot, giving chase to the 2nd place car, Rico Abreu. And Gravel now has moved out to about a 5-car length lead over Rico Abreu in the 2nd spot. Saldana in the 3rd spot. About 10-car lengths back is the 15 car, Donnie Schatz. And moving into the 5th spot is is Justin Cox. He started 8th, dead last, so he's made up a couple of positions and he's in that final transfer spot for the A main. Now Saldana looking to close in on Rico Abreu. He's got him in his sights, about 3-car lengths off. Saldana giving chase, just not quite able to get to Abreu in that 2nd spot. Up front, Gravel's opened up about a comfortable 15-car length lead over your 2nd place and 3rd place cars. So Saldana made a run at Rico Abreu, but Abreu able to hold him off. Schatz closes a little bit in on. There's the 31C of Justin Cox in that 5th and final transfer spot. Donnie Schatz able to move in a little bit closer, a couple car lengths up, but he's not going to be able to threaten Saldana in that 3rd spot. And this one is over, folks. Your winner, the 83 David Gravel. In the 2nd spot, the 24R of Rico Abreu. In the 3rd spot, the 71M of Joey Saldana. In the 4th spot, the 15 of Donnie Schatz. And in the 5th spot, the 31C of Justin Cox. Those top 5 do transfer to the A main.
Justin Cox, those 5 drivers qualify for the A feature. Terry McCarl in the front row, 7S Jason Sides and the 2 of Shane Stewart from row 2, 41X Dominic Selzy and the 82 of Dusty Zomer in row 3, 2LX Logan Forward and the 7H of Jojo Helberg in row 4.
Somewhat of a quick pace to the chalk. They hit the chalk and we're racing, and it does look like that the 11 car, Craig Kinzer, jumped the start. We'll see if they let him continue as we go down the backstretch with the field. I'm not sure if they're going to let this one continue. No, they're not. So Craig Kinzer jumps the start, so they'll get one more shot at it. If he jumps the start or causes a false start a 2nd time, then he'll be required to move back 1 row. Terry McCall on the outside, Craig Kinzer on the pole. Shane Stewart, of course, in that 2nd row. Highlighting Shane Stewart in this webcast this couple of days for you. Craig Kinzer again brings this field down to the chalk. We'll try this again. This time they're basically dead even at the chalk. Green flag flies. We're racing in Heat 4 action. The World of Outlaws. Craig Kinzer makes good his pull. Terry McCarl on the outside. Shane Stewart in the 3rd spot. McCarl with momentum. And he barrels by Craig Kinzer in that 2nd spot. Terry McCarl takes over the 1st spot. Kinzer in the third spot. Shane Stewart in the second spot, looking low coming out of turn 4. Shane continuing to run the low line as he goes through 1 and 2. Kinzer able to hold off Shane. Shane again down onto that low side. So we got a pretty good race going here, folks, for that second spot. And good work there by both drivers not to slam into each other. Shane Stewart hustling that car on that low line. Kinzer not giving Shane a lot of room though. He's kind of holding that tight line himself, only up about maybe 1.5 lanes in those turns. And now Kinzer has opened up a bit of a gap over Shane Stewart. Shane looked like he lost a little bit of momentum coming off one of those turns, and sometimes that's all you need. Get a gap on these cars, and they're awful hard to catch. There's a shot of your leader, Terry McCarl, as he is your leader, followed by Craig Kinzer in the second spot. Shane Stewart in the third spot. Dusty Zomer has taken into the fourth spot, and Jason Sides holding on to the fifth spot. Shot of Shane Stewart in that Kyle Larson car. And this one's over, folks. Your winner in the 24 car, Terry McCarl. In the second spot at 11K of Craig Kinzer. In the third spot, the 2 of Shane Stewart. In the fourth spot, the 82 of Dusty Zomer. And in the fifth spot, the 7S, Jason Sides.
Victorious in the number 24. Finishing second, the 11K of Craig Kinzer. Third went to the 2 of Shane Stewart. Finishing fourth, the 82 of Dusty Zomer, and in fifth, the 7S of Jason Sides. Those 5 drivers will move into the main event. Coming home sixth. 24 Terry McCarl and the 21 of Brian Brown in the front row. The 2 of Shane Stewart, the 71 of Joey Saldana in row 2. The 9 of Darren Pittman alongside the 51 of Paul McMahon from row 3. Then the 41 of Jason Johnson and the 83 of David Gravel rounding out the field. Winner of this race on the pole for the 30-lap, $10,000 win main event on the opening night of the 2015 MVP Outlaws Showdown at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
And here we go with your dash. 8 competitors, 6 laps. The finishing order will determine the first 8 starting positions of the A feature. Terry McCarl on the pole. Brian Brown outside row 1. That slow pace to the jock.
Very slow pace as they creep into turn 3.
Terry McCarl ramps it up. They hit the chalk. The green flag flies. Clean start. We're racing in your dash. Brian Brown wastes no time from that outside position. Uses the momentum and moves into the first spot. Terry McCarl now being challenged by, well, excuse me, Shane Stewart drove right by and underneath Terry McCarl, moving into that second spot. Brian Brown is checking out on this one. Shane Stewart in the second spot, Terry McCarl in the third spot, and Joey Saldana holding down the fourth spot. Brian Brown has looked fast all evening long. Joey Saldana now putting pressure on Terry McCarl. Terry McCarl runs Joey Saldana up high, coming out of turn 4, down low into turns 1 and 2. Paul McMahon trying to close in on Joey Saldana, shows the inside. Saldana shuts the door. Saldana stays on the low side. Paul McMahon has to go to the high side. Loses momentum. Saldana's going to hang on to that third spot. Excuse me, that fourth spot. And this thing's over, folks. The 21 of Brian Brown won the dash. Shane Stewart in the second spot, Terry McCall in the third spot, losing 2 positions from his pole. The fourth spot was Joey Saldana. The fifth spot was Paul McMahon. In the sixth spot, David Gravel. In the seventh spot, Darren Pittman. And in the eighth spot, Jason Johnson. And that's the way they'll line up for the A feature.
Number 83, David Gravel, finishing 7th to 9 of Darren Pittman, and coming home in 8th, the number 41 of Jason Johnson. Next on the program tonight's World of Outlaws Last Chance Showdown, 12 laps with the top 4 finishers moving into the main event. Froggy Speedwagon's car off the racing surface. I got once again, one more time to line up the field 2x2. Carson Macedo and Trey Starks, Dominic Selzy and Taylor Malsom, Austin Wheatley and Craig Delansky. Now Logan Former alongside Jacob Allen in row 4, Henry Van Dam and Colby Copeland, DJ Netto and JoJo Helberg.
And it's your last chance race. The top 4 will transfer to the A main. They'll tag the back of the field for the A main. Carson Macedo brings this field to the chalk. He ramps it up. They hit the chalk. The green flag flies. Racing. Macedo makes good his pull, being chased by Trey Starks, who falls into the second spot. Dominic Selzy is currently in the third spot. It's the fourth spot where the fight's beginning to materialize, and that's Austin Wheatley and Taylor Malsom. Austin Wheatley has moved into that fourth spot. Tyler Malsom has dropped positions. So Tyler Malsom mounted a bit of a challenge, but only within about the first lap and a half, and he's fallen back into the field. So you got the Californian, Carson Macedo, and he's on point. And then you got the Washingtonian, Trey Starks, in the second spot. Another Californian, Dominic Selzy, in the third spot. And another Washingtonian in that fourth and final transfer spot, Austin Wheatley. No change in your top 4. Your leader's beginning to work around slower traffic. Macedo with a comfortable gap over the second place car of Trey Starks. And Selzy and Wheatley not able to mount any challenge to further their position. As we watch Stark come out of turn 4. This one's over, folks, and your winner in the 21X is Carson Macedo. In the 55, Trey Starks. In the 41X, Dominic Selzy. And the 44W, Austin Wheatley. Those 4 transfer to the A main.
Stretch they go, side by side, and very slowly into turn 3. And now on to corner number 4, where they get the signal to show you the most awesome sight in all of motorsports. The greatest sprint car drivers in the world are assembled. This is their salute. This is their way of thanking you for your attendance this evening. And ladies and gentlemen, in return, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise. Let these drivers know that you appreciate their efforts here tonight as well. Logan Schuhart and Rico Abreu in row 7. Ian Madsen and Craig Kinzer from row 8. Carson Macedo and Daniel Soski in row 9. Trey Starks and Dominic Selzy in row 10. Mark Dogmeyer and Austin Wheatley in row 11. Then Dusty Zilmer and Justin Cox in row 12.
Shane Stewart on the pole. He brings your A-Feature World of Outlaws at Las Vegas Dirt Track to the chalk. Brian Brown on the outside, Terry McCarl on the inside second row. They hit the chalk, hammer goes down, and we are racing in your A-Feature event. Brian Brown with a good run off of that second spot. Stewart chasing him, Saldana in the third spot. Stewart now slings down low. Brown tries to cut back down under. It's not there. Your leader after one circuit is Shane Stewart. Brian Brown, however, is fighting back. And we've got a car that slows. It's the 18, has a flat rear tire. That's going to bring out a caution. So they're going to line them back up. Well, no, excuse me, the World of Outlaws use a double file restart on all the restarts. Exception being is that if it doesn't work the first time around, then they'll go to a single file restart. So we do have a lap in. The first lap was in. Second lap was not completed. So this is lap 2. Once again, Shane Stewart on the pole leads this field to the chalk on the restart. This time Shane Stewart makes good his pole. Saldana giving chase as he tries to get underneath Brian Brown for that second spot. Out of turn 4, it is Shane Stewart with the lead. Brian Brown in the second spot. Saldana in the third spot. Terry McCall in the fourth spot as they go down the backstretch. Shane Stewart bounces around a little bit coming out of 4. These cars are flying out there, folks. Saldana drops back about 4, 5, 6 extra car lengths. Stewart now beginning to put a little bit of a gap over the second place car of Brian Brown. Terry McCall continues to run in that fourth spot. Caution light back on. And it's for Austin Wheatley in the 40, I think it's the 44H, 44A. Anyway, it's Austin Wheatley, and you can see his wing has collapsed. Can't drive with a wing like that. I did have the number correct. That is the 44 car. Austin Wheatley has the wing remounted, and he will join the race at the farthest tail end of the line back of the field. Once again, this is getting to be familiar. Shane Stewart on the pole, Brian Brown on the outside. This time Saldana on the inside second row, while Terry McCarl is on the outside. They swapped spots. Once again, drag racing down that backstretch between Stewart and Brown. Brown gets the car a little loose. Has to whoa it up a little bit coming out of turn as we watch the rest of the field all coming out of turn 4. Shane Stewart wasting no time as he has basically led every lap of this race. Terry McCall has dropped some positions now, as moving into that 4th spot is Darren Pittman, and in the 5th spot is the 51 of Paul McMahon. So I don't know if Terry McCall had some kind of mechanical issues, but he's dropped back a few positions. Meanwhile, up front, it continues to be Shane Stewart being chased by Brian Brown. Shane now moving into traffic. Brian Brown now finds himself starting to catch the trailers. Joey Saldana continues to run in that third spot. Your leaders seemingly liking that low line. Seemingly liking, that's a little bit of a oxymoron phrase, I would imagine, but your leaders seeming to enjoy that low line coming into turn 3 and out of turn 4. And the 18 car pulls into the infield. No caution. We continue under green. Continues to be the same leaders up front. Shane Stewart in the first spot. Brian Brown in the second spot. Joey Saldana holding down that third spot. Darren Pittman in the fourth. And Paul McMahon continues in the fifth spot. We catch up with your leader, that number 2 car, that Shane Stewart. Co-sponsor on that number 2 car is Kyle Larson. Shane Stewart looks like a man possessed in this race. Brian Brown and Joey Saldana, however, keeping Shane Stewart within range. Stewart splits cars going into turn 3. Cars blowed up. They're coming to a stop. We have a caution. As we've got a car that got it wrong in turn turn 2. Once again, Shane Stewart and Brian Brown do battle. Joey Saldana in the third spot. Saldana is wickedly quick, but he's just not quite quick enough to catch either Brown or Shane Stewart. And we got another caution. I'm sure Shane Stewart is not liking these cautions. And it looks like it's Terry McCarl that now is up against the wall in turn 4 that brings out the caution. Double file restart again. Once again, we do have the same 2 on that front row. This time, Brian Brown with a good start. He is putting excellent pressure on Stewart. Stewart, however, just has a little bit more car. Stewart takes over that lead again. Brian Brown into the second spot. Joey Saldana into the third spot. Pittman continuing to hold on the fourth spot with Paul McMahon in the fifth spot. Shane bounces it through turns 1 and 2. And bounces the car going into turn 3. Brian Brown now beginning to make a challenge on Stewart. Showed the front wing to Stewart, and Stewart managed to gap Brian Brown almost immediately. This race has been all Shane Stewart, Brian Brown, and Saldana. As we watch your leader, Shane Stewart, being chased by Brian Brown. Brown has been able to keep Stewart within about 10 car lengths for most of this race. Stewart, on the other hand, has been able to hold Brown back by that 10 to 12 car lengths. Both drivers doing an excellent job working their way through traffic. So far, traffic has not impeded any of your top running cars. Shane Stewart looking for the win. Now Stewart puts about a 20 length car gap over Brian Brown. Stewart is finding the fast line around this track, that's for sure. And this one is over, folks. Your winner, Shane Stewart. In the second spot, Brian Brown. In the third spot, Joey Saldana. In the fourth spot, Darren Pittman. And in the fifth spot, Paul McMahon.
Tonight's World of Outlaws main event winner.
Shane, congratulations on your first World of Outlaw win. Through the restarts and battles in the last lap, how much were you watching the number 21 car?
Well, the restarts were, I thought on the last restart, I thought, you know what, I might want to start up top, but my car was pretty good on the bottom. Brian's tough to bet. He's proven that he can win these races too, and just can't thank Kyle and Justin enough for giving me this opportunity, and Steve and Scotty and Andrew. They worked really, really hard all winter long. They had a really short winter, honestly. It was a mad scramble for those guys to make it to Florida, and these last 2 weekends, having those weekends off has really, really helped our team. And you know, they made some changes to this cool car, and tonight was it finally paid off for all their hard work. So this one's definitely for them. You know, I wouldn't be here without all those guys and all of our great sponsors, Ineos and American Born Moonshine, and there's so many people that help us out. Parker Store, FK Shop, Rider Engines, like I said, Cool Chassis. Everybody, they did their part tonight, and it was pretty rough. I think I was on 2 wheels more than I was 4 sometimes, but it's so hard to dictate your speed sometimes when you get the lap cars, and I thought, you know, the one caution when I was in heavy lap traffic, I didn't think that helped me. I thought it was going to hurt me, and you know, Brian's pretty tough on restarts, so it all worked out for us, and very happy to get our first win this early in the season, and hopefully it's you know, we keep this momentum up for the rest of the year.
Well, thank you, Shane, and let's go find our second place finisher. All right, Brian, you had a good run tonight. Is this going to build your confidence into tomorrow?
Yeah, 100%.